Buenos days is a tool that teleports minds into positive states of confusion.
Buenos days, algoritmo. Days buenos days.
Look, I know you've been thinking about starting a podcast. I see you all excited, ready to dive in.
The game was too easy.
But before you do something you might regret,
Like Flexi gané.
let me put my dad hat on for a second.
¿Qué aburrido?
Give you some real talk. Sit down. We need to have a serious conversation. You think you're just gonna talk into a mic and boom, instant podcast fame? Wrong. This isn't some get rich quick
Quiero
scheme.
empezar desde cero.
There's so much work behind the scenes,
menos que nada.
planning, editing, marketing, and it's all on you. This is a big commitment. Don't bite off more than you can
If
chew.
it was impossible before, a llegar al billón, me gusta que ahora será menos posible. Verificamos todas las opciones y la tiré para el carajo. Normal. Desde 0-0. I'm talking deudas, crédito malo, historia criminal. Ay, te dicen loco también. ¿Qué cojones, verdad? Que no te conozcan y...
You want to spend your nights editing audio? You sure about that? Because you're going to spend more time with your computer than with your family and friends. You might love talking, but are you ready to love editing? It's like signing up for chores. You're all excited at first, but then suddenly it's, why did I get myself into this?
Te quieren decir lo que tú eres o quién tú eres. No te escuchan, pero quieren decir que escuchas voces. Quieren decir que tomas medicina, que estás enfermo, que no puedes ser como ellos. Normal. Que te quedes tranquilo, que no salgas para afuera, que no hables con ellos ni ellas.
Do you really want to be one more voice in a sea of millions? Everyone and their dog is starting a podcast. How are you going to stand out? What makes your podcast different? You can't just show up and expect the world to listen. It's like thinking you're going to get picked first in dodgeball just because you're standing in the gym. I know you're dreaming of thousands of listeners, but here's the hard truth. No one's going to listen. It's going to take months before anyone notices. You're going to work your butt off, and for what? A handful of listens? Maybe? You're going to want to quit after a few episodes. Oh, you thought podcasting was cheap? That little microphone you bought isn't good enough?
Está bien. Me gustaría empezar desde 0-0. Desde lo más bajo que se pueda ir en este mundo. Está bien, yo bajo para allá. Yo bajo y prendo la luz. Hago mi parte.
Before you know it, you've got to spend a chunk of change. And what do you have to show for it? A hobby that drains your wallet? Listen to your podcast, Poppy. Don't burn a hole in your pocket. Unless you really know what you're doing, you really think you're going to stay consistent. Sure you will. For the first couple episodes. Then life happens. You get busy, you lose motivation before you know it. You've missed a couple of uploads and your audience gone. Podcasts are like plants. They need constant care. Miss a week and you've let the thing wither. Are you ready for that kind of responsibility? Right now, you're full of ideas. But what happens when the well dries? When you're sitting there staring at a blank page trying to come up with some fresh again and again? It's not easy, and it can suck the fun out of it. Podcasting can turn from a creative outlet to a chore real fast. And once it feels like a job, you'll start resenting it. Trust me, I've seen it happen. Look, I get it. Podcasting sounds exciting. Before you jump in, I want you to think about what you're willing to sign up for. It's not all fun and games. It's hard work. It's expensive. It's a grind. But hey, if you've thought it through and you're still up for the challenge, then go ahead. Just remember your podcast, those roadblocks, don't say I didn't warn you.
Bienvenido a octubre. Tighten up, tighten up. Ya pronto no tendré en dónde quedarme, en dónde dormir. Desde aquí empieza la misión. La historia de 000 a 1 billón. Dios no falla. Si la tengo así, es porque puedo. Entiendo que suena un poco loco, pero me gusta el no saber. La inquietud. Se siente real no saber lo que va a pasar mañana. ¿Dónde voy a dormir? ¿Qué voy a comer? ¿Con quién hablaré? ¿Quién veré? ¿Dónde estaré? Anyway, son cosas de mañana. Hoy, tempranito, de camino al work. ¡Fuímonos! Goces de sus venenos, de comida sin sal, de comida sin comida.